What is up, dudes and dudes to the internet? My name's Scythe and we are back here with some more Trove on the PS4. Pew, 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 pew. How y'all doing today, folks? Hope you're doing fantastic, wonderful. Hope this video makes your day even better. So today we're going to talk about some things that are not entirely exciting. It's actually quite disappointing, in fact. Some of the stuff that the devs ended up talking about in their recent live stream. Most of all in regards to that big old beautiful Megalithic update. At least now we have an idea. You'll kind of understand a little bit more what I mean when I say we have an idea as far as when it's coming out. But as you can see with the whole, bonus week coming out on both the console version and on the PC version, that is not going to be the Megalithic update. So if you don't know, folks, we talked about this last time where I was kind of speculating and talking with the other officers, more particularly Merc and me, were kind of under the suspicion that the bonus week coming to consoles and coming to PC at the same time had something to do with next week or the week after being the Megalithic update. Unfortunately, that does not seem like the case. That second coming soon bonus week might end up getting swapped out for a different event that could be the Megalithic update. In general, though, we're going to talk about that in a little bit more detail. However, one thing I wanted to point out that's very, very important for any of you folks watching at home that are still playing on the PS4, on the North American servers, I should say. Sorry, my European brethren, we cannot actually play together on the PS4. It sucks, I know. Seriously, the PlayStation 4 doesn't even get cross-platforming Minecraft, for crying out loud, which makes sense because it's owned by Microsoft. But anyways, I noticed that there was a sign right here. I since got rid of it because it said, I'm pretty sure, it's not that the officers or leaders were trying to trick people or anything like that. It was a sign that was saying that if you wanted to donate to the club or donate to me more particularly, you could actually donate to an officer or another leader and then they would end up sending it over to me. Now, again, it's not, I don't think it's that they were trying to trick anybody or anything, but I'm not really getting any donations. I don't plan to get donations on the PS4 series. I'm already just having a good enough time messing around playing and most of all just getting all of you up to date on all the current stuff that's going on. So the other thing too is Broken Angel and Lily, if you guys or gals or whatever, there it is, Lilith, not Lily. If you're on Discord, try to hit me up with a message because I haven't seen either of them on Discord, and thus it's very, very difficult for me to try and plan stuff around with the club. Now that said, I kind of took, okay, I didn't even press a button. I kind of took a back seat as far as leadership is concerned and just kind of left it to them. They've actually been doing a fantastic job. Like, the club has actually been doing pretty well, considering. What? No, stop. No, I'm an Uggles Squid. How do I get it to set primary? L2. There we go. So let's warp out of U3 or wherever I just was. Like, yikes. Seriously. And here we go to U5 again. But honestly speaking, I mean, if you want to watch me grind like the end game, that's what the PC series is for, man. So most of all for today, everybody, we're going to be talking about the Megalithic update and what the devs ended up actually saying about it, which is quite frustrating. Most of all because a while back, they did confirm. They did say that the Megalithic update was going to be coming out in June. Doesn't look like that's happening. I mean, it could still last minute, we've still got a couple weeks, right? Something like that. But for the most part, in their last live stream, unfortunately, they're still not giving an exact release date, and they even ended up saying that the Megalithic update is right around the corner. What does right around the corner mean, though? That's what I want to know. Does that mean that it's going to end up showing up randomly within these next couple of weeks? Or is it just never going to show up? Is it going to end up being a couple months? What's right around the corner? Like, it's just, I don't get it, dude. Like, it's frustrating that they're not giving a little bit more info. Most of all, I'm not frustrated about them delaying it or anything like that because they're delaying it for good reason. They're working it out. They're trying to, hey, this guy actually knows what he's doing as far as dungeons are concerned. I like him. They would delay it for a good reason, right? But the thing that I don't like is they go out of their way to actually doing these live streams and trying to connect with their fans and stuff like that, and then they don't give us any information other than Megalithic is right around the corner. Like, at least give us a window, or just say that it's not going to show up in June at the least, you know? Like, stop letting us speculate, or have to speculate, because then it's like, you know, I talk about in all these videos, try to build up the hype train, honestly, for the Megalithic update in the videos, and then suddenly it's like, oh, it's just not even, like, it's a couple months away. So it's like, well, then in that case, I wouldn't have talked about it, you know? I would have waited to talk about it in the videos. But, hey, whatever, that's just how it is. I'm not like a news channel. I just give you all the stuff that I learned myself firsthand, right? So anyway, we do have some clues for when the Megalithic update is going to end up showing up, and that is the cross-platform event. So just to be clear, because lots of people always get confused, I know some people are going to get confused on this video, and, you know, if you see any of them in the comments, you can explain it to them in a way that they can understand. But the way that the Megalithic update is going to work is the PC version of Trove is at, let's just say, 1.3, while the console version is at 0.5. What the Megalithic update is going to do is bring the console version up to 1.3. It's not going to be cross-platform. Xbox players are not going to play with PS4 players or even with PC players. It's nothing like that. It's just that we're going to be able, we're going to have the most recent version. So we're going to have craftable classes and, you know, more dragons and a whole bunch of other crazy stuff that's going to, you know, be a lot for me to cover when the Megalithic update decides to rear its ugly head, right? And then after that, they're working on like the Hydra boss and the subclasses and stuff like that. And that actually looks really, really exciting. But that's honestly probably a couple months away, 4 to 5 months, maybe even 6, who knows, right? Anyways, oh, Ladybug Invaders. Can I get my Ladybug wings just randomly? Can I randomly get really lucky on just this one Ladybug Invader here? Probably not. Lots of people have been asking whether I can farm Ladybug Invaders. I haven't really had the time. Anyways, that cross-platform event. So this is going to be an event that's going to launch on PC and consoles at the same time. So that's when the Megalithic update's going to hit. So whenever we finally go to the welcome screen and we see the dinosaur event, whenever we see that in the coming soon, then we know that Megalithic is ready to go and already scheduled to release, because that event is going to come out on the consoles and on the PC all at once. And the event itself doesn't really sound spectacular. It's probably just going to be the same as all the other events, quest events in Trove, where it's just, oh, go and kill like 500 of this specific enemy type. Maybe there's a new dungeon, maybe there isn't, but even if there is a new dungeon, you're still gonna have to kill 500 zillion of the next enemy that they have specifically for the event. If they even have an enemy specifically for the event, in most cases they just have you kill normal enemies or something. We'll see, but most likely it'll just be for a dinosaur ally, I'm expecting. Maybe a mount or two as a rare drop. In any case, when that event comes out, of course, I'm going to end up covering it and letting you know everything about it, and trying to rush all of the items from the event so that I can show it all off in a video so that y'all know what you're getting into and just how brutal the grind is going to end up being too, you know? Because it's like, on one hand, I thought, man, it'd be so easy if I had dev controls. I'm just going on a little side rant here. But I always thought that'd be so convenient for me to just give myself these items so that I can end up showing them off in videos to all you folks. And, you know, in most cases, that's where the test server would come into play on the PC, but the test server doesn't exist anymore. It's gonna come back eventually, but it's not really there anymore. But then I thought, that would also kind of be a double-edged sword and not really work out for me, because then I wouldn't go through the grind of getting it myself and be able to tell you how brutal it is. Because a lot of the events that they have going on, well, to be fair, I say that the events are brutal, but most of all that's for somebody like myself where I rush. You know, I don't really have that much extra spare time, so I try to get whatever the new event item is, I try to get it within like 1 to 2 days, 3 days tops. And that, you know, that's why, in that sense, a lot of the events are brutal, because they don't expect you to do that. They expect you to grind it over the next week, if not 2 weeks, to actually get all of the drops and stuff like that, right? And, you know, and in that regard, it's all good, but not only am I a content creator, so I gotta get it all out to you as quickly as possible, but then on top of that, just wanting to have it done and out of the way so that I can focus on other things, right? So, in any case, the Megalithic update, man, I don't know what's happening with that. Like, we'll just have to kind of see what is going on there. That's all I wanted to do this entire time. Whoops. I've got a whole bunch of random items in my inventory. Let's get that. I'm also saving this class coin for whenever I finally end up getting my hands on, well, whenever the Megalithic update comes out and we actually get our hands on the Dino Tamer, dude, because I want to main him on the PS4. He's such a cool character, too. Like, seriously. Ooh! Oh, that's already in my collection. Well, rip me. I didn't even get my daily, dude. Okay, let's do one more dungeon. A cerulean egg. Delicious, man. Yum. But yeah, very disappointing that the Megalithic update does not look like it's coming out this month. Now, that said, it might secretly, but honestly, all signs point to no, just because of the fact that the devs are not advertising its release date. I think that if the Megalithic update was going to be coming out this month, we would have known, you know, probably a couple weeks in advance, if not a month or two in advance. You know, hopefully it is still right around the corner, because that's exactly what the devs ended up saying when people were asking, where's the Megalithic? They just said, oh, it's around the corner, you know, and it's like, come on, like, you know, these people are not trying to be mean. They're trying to get what you guys promised them. And again, I don't really want to sound like I'm being aggressive towards that or anything. I just find it to be a little bit disappointing when they talk about something like this and then go back on their word, because honestly, it reminds me, you know, maybe I've been playing this game for too long, but it reminds me of the Hydra boss. Because the Hydra boss, if you haven't checked out my video recently showing it off, go ahead. That's going to be a new Shadow Tower boss that was actually being worked on a year or two ago, and only now is finally getting into the game. And even then, it was very, very likely that we were never going to see it. So it's cool that it's finally being added to the game. But that's kind of the thing, is it's like, you know, the devs kind of have a pedigree for this, where they'll talk and show off these features that are already in the game and already work just fine. Like even with the Megalithic update, where it's there, it's being worked on, and then they'll move on to another project and suddenly you just never hear about it again. Now, again, the Megalithic update, they're not going to end up doing that. It's just that we don't really have a proper release date. Another thing too I want to just say in closing here, folks, is that they have also confirmed that there's going to be a couple quality of life updates coming out with the Megalithic update. So that's where PC players are also going to see a couple new additions to the game being added when the Megalithic update does end up coming out. So hopefully maybe sometime before June is over, if not late July at the latest. You know, I would really hope that Megalithic is at least coming out in July, you know, because otherwise that would be nuts. But in any case, thank you so much for watching, everybody. Very much appreciate it. Don't forget to like, share, favorite, and subscribe for more daily content. Sayonara, and stay epic, everybody.